Sometimes you start a career and end up in medicine. And sometimes you start in medicine and end up someplace completely different. Hi, I'm Dr. Dre, board certified internist, and today I'm going to talk about 3 people who started off as doctors and became something completely different. Number 1. Well, you may know Che Guevara as the Argentinian revolutionary, the Marxist, the guerrilla leader, the military, but he was significantly known for his involvement in the Cuban Revolution alongside Fidel Castro.
Later that year, Che met Fidel and Raul Castro while visiting Mexico and joined the revolutionary cause to overthrow the Batista government in Cuba.
He landed as the doctor for the invading force,
playing a role in the establishment of the socialist state in Cuba. However, what is lesser known is his beginnings as a medical doctor. Before he became a revolutionary, Ernest Che Guevara studied medicine at the University of Buenos Aires, graduating in 1953. While traveling through South America as a medical student, he witnessed poverty as well as disease throughout. And this was the catalyst shaping his view on how medicine should be practiced. And it was the fundamental thing that shaped his views on socialized medicine. He worked in many clinics and his main focus was leprosy and asthma. Public health and socialized medicine were his main passions, and he fundamentally believed that access to healthcare was a fundamental human right. While his main focus was on public health, he did believe that preventative healthcare and primary healthcare were of the utmost importance in tackling all disease. Although his medical career was cut short when he joined the Cuban Revolution, it was these medical skills that he gained that he relied on throughout. It is stated that with his travels, he definitely treated wounded revolutionaries and citizens throughout the revolution. And he played a key role in establishing the healthcare structure in post-revolutionary Cuba. He continued throughout to advocate for healthcare reform. Che Guevara's legacy is complex and extremely controversial. He had strong beliefs on social justice, and again, he had a fundamental belief in healthcare. Despite his demise, Che Guevara's ideals continue to inspire healthcare workers and professionals in some part of the world, and especially in Cuba. Number 2, Michael Crichton. You may say who, but you definitely know some of his books, and if you don't, you know his movies. Jurassic Park, Lost World, Sphere, Twister, The 90s Show, ER, and to top it off, he wrote the book, which is now a popular HBO show, The Westworld. Michael Crichton attended Harvard Medical School, receiving his medical degree in 1960. After this, he worked as a resident in Harvard-affiliated medical facilities, where he did find his true passion was writing and storytelling.
My next guest is Michael Crichton. He's an unusual young man. During the 4 years that he spent at medical school, he suddenly got the writing bug, wrote 7 novels, a couple of movies, and became a doctor, too. I can't imagine. I've always thought the guy who's in medical school, of course, gets no sleep, works constantly, nearly ruins himself. But there's no way that a guy can write as much as you did and be in medical school. Can you live without sleep?
No, but I discovered in certain ways that I could live without medical school.
It was one or the other.
Right.
Yeah.
So that you can, if you look at my grades, I think you can see where I did my writing because they sort of went along and then there's a big drop.
The graph follows your grades. Yeah.
His primary focus was on stories related to science fiction and medical thrillers. While in medical school, he did write book reviews for the Harvard Crimson, and he did actually publish a book around the same time he graduated, 1969, which won Best Mystery. He did actually rely on his background in medicine for several of his novels. Jurassic Park, The Andromeda Strain, and the show ER. Think about it. Jurassic Park is a story about genetic engineering and paleontology. The Andromeda Strain is a book about an alien microorganism that is accidentally released on Earth. And the ER, or the show ER, is a medical drama about the lives of doctors and nurses working in the ER in a Chicago hospital. Of a side note, I was a huge fan as a kid with the show ER. And it definitely shaped my belief of medicine. It's just watching these doctors struggle with life and work. One of my favorite characters was Dr. Benton, the mean, arrogant, really mean surgeon who had a little bit of a soft side. And for some reason, I wanted to be him.
All along here, you have the medical examining rooms. This is where the pill pushers kill their victims.
And actually, when I had the chance to work in Chicago, I definitely applied to work at Cook County Hospital. Michael Crichton's background definitely shaped his views or his drive from medicine transitioning to film. He was quoted as saying, "Follow. Being a doctor is good preparation for this being film. You deal with all kinds of life that you will irrevertibly have. It teaches you to work well when you have not slept. It teaches you to work well when you're on your feet. It teaches you to work through technical problems. It teaches you to make decisions and then live with them." Michael Crichton's legacy as a master storyteller continues to captivate audiences everywhere. His ability to blend scientific narratives as well as complex characters has made him beloved around the world. Last but not least, number 3, Ken Jeong. Now, some of you may know him as Mr. Chow.
We didn't catch your name last night.
Mr. Chow. Leslie Chow.
Mr. Chow, that's cool.
Of course, dude. That is cool. Gotcha!
But his real-life patients knew him as Dr. Jeong. Believe it or not, before he became popular in the movie The Hangover, Dr. Jeong was a medical doctor and internist at Kaiser Permanente in Los Angeles.
You were already dead. You didn't have a pulse.
Oh, you never do blood before? Sometime your heart start up again. Read a book.
He attended Duke University for undergrad. Medical school was at the University of North Carolina, and his residency was in New Orleans. His acting career was a bit unconventional. He actually started stand-up as a way for stress relief as a doctor, and his stand-up became very popular, and he did amass a following. He was quoted as saying, "Comedy has always been an escape for me. I just happened to be a doctor." His big break came in his role as Mr. Chow, a gynecologist in the movie Knocked Up.
So every pregnancy is going to be a different timeline. She'll probably squirt out in an hour, okay? You're going to probably squirt out in a day, you know? I'm here for you because I took oath to serve and protect non-malfeasance.
He later landed his most iconic role as Mr. Chow in the Hangover trilogy, and then he also played a role in the series Community, while he eventually landed his own sitcom, Dr. Ken, where he plays himself as a doctor.
Dr. Ken Jeong of Dr. Ken, and welcome to Doc Support. Question from Ashley at Queasy Bake. How do I know if I have the stomach flu or a hangover? Well, honey, did you drink last night? Glug glug? Did you have food or did you have alcohol? The internet is for smart, established doctors like me. Think before you tweet.
While Ken Jeong's comedic roles have brought him worldwide fame, it is his background as an internist that shows his versatility. It also shows his dedication. And his journey from being a doctor to an actor showcases the importance of pursuing your passions.
Hey,